Uh, I went through Guruji's videos on Mars-Jupiter conjunction.
Yes.
Can we do a lot of sadhana during that time?
Yes.
I mean, extra, like we can say, do more meditation, more prayer.
Yes. Anything which will upgrade our awareness.
Okay.
Because I'll just talk about it.
Because I thought we have to do something like, give charity, or things like that. I was not sure. So
Okay.
that is how best should we spend that
No,
24 hours.
charity is something, you see, it is like this that if the horoscope indicates
Hmm.
that something is to be done, some offering is to be done for a purpose, then it is very helpful. Like anybody who is into, any source of earning that we have, if we use a certain part of that earning to do some charity, it will be great. But it is like this that if suppose Saturn is to be propitiated, then charity has to be done to help people who are our workers, to help poor people. And if something is to be, if Guru is to be propitiated, then the charity has to be in a temple to some Brahmin priest. It will depend from the what is needed, and that is when charity becomes very helpful. But the biggest charity is upgrading of awareness. A person who is on the path to know himself or herself, that is the biggest charity, because if a person becomes rooted in higher awareness, then that person becomes, he is no longer a person, he becomes
Hmm.
a presence.
Hmm.
And wherever that presence is, whosoever touches that presence, their lives will change. So they become, a living embodiment of charity. Like I had this chance to meet Mr. Soli Tavaria. So once we traveled, somebody had hired a taxi. So when we reached the place where we were going and we got out, the taxi driver was paid off. But he came back. He took the money, he was getting into his car, and he came out and he came to this Tavariaji, and he said, with great humility, he just bowed down to him. And then he said, I do not know why I am doing this,
Hmm.
but there is something about you which I have not found in any human being so far. So this is the beauty of a person who is in higher awareness. So whosoever touches that person, whosoever's, it may be a helper in the house, a house help, maybe somebody he meets on a walk outside. Everybody, there is this kind of energy. His energy field is such that whosoever gets into that energy field, they begin to change. And there is this famous story of my Param Guru Baba Muktanand. He was very fond of pets, and there were always some dogs that he liked. So he went to the States once and he stayed for about 3 years in the United States. So a dog was his traveling companion. And because of being in the contact with Baba Muktanand, The dog was permeated by his energy. And once the dog fell sick and a veterinarian had to be called, and this doctor, when he touched the dog, he got an electric shock. Of course, he did what had to be done to the dog. He prescribed some medicines, etc. He went back home. It was evening time. He sat in his chair. And all of a sudden, he was drawn inside. And he had a divine experience. And he shared it with people. So, the person who came to Baba and told him that this is what happened to this doctor. So Baba told him that you also tell him that the dog is not the person who gave him Shaktipat. I have given him Shaktipat, the awakening of Kundalini Shakti. So this is the power of a great master. So anybody, why we want to upgrade ourselves in awareness? Because that is the biggest service to mankind. It is the biggest service to ourselves, but as we evolve, we can become blessing for others in their lives. So this is the biggest charity. And this is the purpose of human existence. Because we are here to serve. And how can we serve? We have to become full of energy so that we can offer that energy to others. And that will be the biggest service. And this particular conjunction which is there right now, can you see this chart, this Lagna chart?
Yes.
So this is a Lagna chart for somebody or anybody who is in Mumbai city. Tomorrow daytime, midday, 12 o'clock, Mumbai, the 30th of July. So if we see this chart, this is, these figures are, we count them and we see them as 7 is Libra. So it is that at that time the ascendant is in the Libra sign. But look at this sign. Number 2 represents Taurus, Vrishabha Rashi. So there are 4 planets in Vrishabha Rashi. So Mangal, Mars or Jupiter, Moon and Uranus. So tomorrow, today itself they have come together. But I deliberately chose 12 o'clock because at that time, if you see the planets and their longitudes and their nakshatra, Moon is in the nakshatra, is it in Taurus, sign of Taurus? It is in the nakshatra of Rohini. And Rohini, as we all know, is a very, very wonderful nakshatra. It is the nakshatra of Moon. It is also the nakshatra in which Lord Krishna was born. So it's a very beneficial nakshatra. And because it is the nakshatra of Moon, any practice done in this time to support the Moon, the mind, Moon is the mind, to any practice that we do which sort of makes the mind one-pointed, it makes the mind drawn towards God, this will be a wonderful period. And this period for Mumbai, it starts tomorrow at about 10 something, and it ends day after tomorrow at 10 something. So these 24 hours are a very wonderful period. And why, I will tell you that Mars and Jupiter are together. Mars is the planet of aggression. It is the planet of initiative, but it is also the planet of aggression and war. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. So Mars and Jupiter are together. Mars, if it is left unchecked, it can create a lot of havoc. So you can see a lot of things are happening in people's lives, sudden deaths, fires, Trump was shot at. All this is happening because of Mars. But Jupiter is the protector. So those who will invoke, this is the best time to invoke Jupiter, to take shelter or to take refuge in the energy of Jupiter. So if we offer our, salutations to the Guru, we praise the Guru, we remember the Guru, or we do something that will bring us closer to the Guru. This is a good time because initiative is there. So this is the best time to learn scriptures, to learn something high, to have some higher knowledge and imbibe it. This Mars-Jupiter conjunction is continuing up to 25th of August. This Mars and Jupiter come together every year in one Rashi, one sign or the other. But their conjunction is not more than a week or 10 days. It is this time that they have come together for a long time, for about 50 days. So this is an extended period where we can do a lot of sadhana. We can learn something higher so that we have the initiative, we get a lot of energy, but that energy remains controlled. It does not go haywire. So this is the Mars-Jupiter conjunction. The other thing which is happening is that Moon has come here for 2 days. Moon is the fastest moving planet. We call it a planet in Vedic astrology, though astronomically it is a satellite. But in Vedic astrology, Moon is a planet, and Moon keeps revolving all the time. So in 28 days or 30 days, it goes one full circle. So it takes about 2.5 days to stay in one Rashi. So it has come in Taurus, in Vrishabh Rashi. It is just for about two days and a little more. Now it is right now, it may be there in the Kritika nakshatra, which is not that good. It is a nakshatra of Surya. But it will transit tomorrow morning into the nakshatra of Revati, which is Moon's own nakshatra and a very beneficial nakshatra. So from tomorrow morning till day after tomorrow morning, when it exits Taurus, it Vrishabh Rashi, and goes into the other Rashis. So this is a very auspicious time. And why it is a very auspicious time? In our Vedic astrology, there are 2 yogas which are very beneficial. If somebody is born and in his horoscope or kundli, Moon and Jupiter are together, then it is considered very auspicious. This is known as the Gaj Kesari Yoga. So whosoever has this Gaj Kesari Yoga in their horoscope, in their natal chart, they are bound to be very famous people. They will do something great in this life. And they will be remembered for their good deeds after they have left this body. So this is Guru and Moon coming together. This bestows great blessing on that person in the form of Gaj Kesari Yoga. The other yoga is Moon and Mangal, Moon and Mars together. Moon and Mars together. Mars is the planet of great effort, Moon is the planet of benefits. So this causes Lakshmi Yoga. So the person becomes very rich. So those people who have Moon and Mars conjunction or Moon and Jupiter conjunction, they are really blessed people because their lives are blessed. They are going to be blessed with wealth. They may be, if that Moon Jupiter combine is there, they will be blessed with some great recognition. They will do such work that they will be remembered after they have left this body. We may not have any of these combinations in our natal chart. I don't have it. But this 24 hours, the transiting planets are providing everybody an opportunity of Gaj Kesari Yoga and Lakshmi Yoga. So how do we find Gaj Kesari Yoga? What do we do? We find nearness to the Guru. We do something which will bring us closer to the Guru and which will remove our karma. And how does one invite this Lakshmi Yoga? So Lakshmi, where does Lakshmi stay? Lakshmi stays with Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is pure awareness. Guru is higher learning. So this 24 hour which is coming, it is the time for us to remove our karma, to do karma. So to do some practice which will dissolve our karma. And if we do that, then we are inviting the Gaj Kesari Yoga and the Lakshmi Yoga in our lives. And this is such a powerful combination that even if we do this very sincerely for 24 hours, the results will be amazing. So now the question may arise, what do we do for this karma? How do we get rid of karmic debts? One of the easiest method to do this is through forgiveness practice. We have had so many lifetimes, and in all these lifetimes we have always worked under the guidance of our ego. And what does ego want? Ego wants to perpetuate our own self-interest, no matter how. So in this process, what do? We may have done a lot of things which were inappropriate. So there is karmic debt that we owe to people whom we have harmed or hurt or taken advantage of. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe in some other lifetime, we may not remember. So it is time to seek forgiveness from all these souls. Even if we do not remember that, we do not know that, we must. If we make an intention, we are all energy beings, and at the level of energy, we are all connected. We are not separate individual beings. So it is from one soul to the other. If we send out a vibration of forgiveness, I am sorry if I have done something wrong, please forgive me. This is great service because it is an act of charity. When we seek forgiveness with a pure heart, the hold of our karma on our soul, on our life, starts dissolving. And when this intention reaches the other souls, they are also moved. So they will also forgive. When they forgive, they are being benefited, because if they don't forgive, they will carry resentment, anger, hatred. They will go on searching for us in some other lifetime. When they find us, they will settle those scores. And in the process, they may create karma which will be binding for them. Because when we are settling scores, we do not know where to draw the line. So even those persons who forgive, those souls who forgive, they will be raised higher in frequency and vibration, and their lives will become smooth. So seeking forgiveness is one thing. The other part is that we offer forgiveness. We all carry in our hearts hurts, sense of having been wronged, sense of being victims, and we all have been like that. So while we have committed a lot of excesses, we have suffered a lot of excesses. We may not remember, but we carry the seeds of all these things in our consciousness. So if we make a genuine intention that I forgive everyone who has hurt me or harmed me or taken advantage of me, then immediately that resentment which is lying within and which will sprout and make me do something wrong, that will begin to disappear. So my karma, which will sprout someday, my karma of having resentment, having felt anger, having felt sense of revenge, that will bind someday, that will be dissolved. But it is not just words that when you say, I forgive you. There has to be an intention and it must be felt in the heart. So forgiveness to bear fruit, there should be a genuine effort to forgive and also to wish that person well. Sometimes we say, okay, willy-nilly we say, okay, I forgive this person. But in the heart we have not forgiven. So that kind of hypocrisy will not work. There has to be a genuine effort. Then the third is that we have committed so many excesses on ourselves. When we are angry, wife and husband have a fight, and the wife decides to skip a meal. So what is happening? It is punishing her own body for not having been able to resolve a difference of opinion with the husband. So this is an excess. So we all have done all these things. We overuse the body. There are people who, when they're having bad relationships, they start eating without any discrimination. They are using the body as a refuge bin, putting all kinds of food inside. This is an excess. We become indoctrinated by groups. So we develop sense of hatred towards others without having tested them. Individually, we may find that somebody whom we always thought, oh, he's a useless fellow because he belongs to this particular group or this particular caste or this particular region or community. And when we meet that person, it turns out to be great. But without knowing, we have been in sleep and we have allowed our mind to become a refuge, a bin, a dustbin, where people have come and put all their shit. This is an excess. So it is like seeking forgiveness and offering forgiveness. It is not as simple as saying it in words. It is about looking at the entire span of one's life's journey and making a conscious choice. Do I want to live like this in sleep, in bondage, or do I consciously choose to be free? So to be free of the karma means that I must be ready to seek forgiveness and to offer forgiveness to whomsoever it may be. If we, as long as we are living in sleep, we find justifications for anything that we do wrong. And in forgiveness, we stand naked, vulnerable, open to our own scrutiny, and make a choice. So this is something that can work. So as this 24-hour period is the period where one must do something to rise in frequency and vibration. In every karma, the karma is lying within our body in the cells as emotional debris, as residues. And when these karmas are released, or when the hold they have, that starts whittling down, it starts releasing, then what happens that a lot of prana which is entangled with this karma, it gets released. Why is it that karma does not allow us to grow in awareness? Because the karma is a kind of a black hole where most of our energy is entangled. So when that black hole is penetrated and the energy is released, we become full of life, we become full of energy, and we start rising in awareness. So this is the secret of forgiveness. So what can one do? This applies to, I mean, of course, this period, which this 24-hour period, tomorrow and day after, is very precious. But this Guru Mangal Yuti, the Mars Jupiter conjunction, it is continuing up to 25th of August. So this is a very auspicious time for each one of us to learn something new, something higher that will free us, to apply our mind to something which is uplifting, to rise in energy. Mangal gives a lot of initiative, so we can do something which will raise our energy frequency and vibration, which will bring us closer to the Guru principle. And we can use this time to become or to totally transform ourselves. What is the drawback of astrology? Sometimes what is happening is that the astrologers becomes prophets of doom. So Guru Mangal Yuti, Guru is going to moving in a different motion. They will say, okay, this is going to bring a lot of disaster. Maybe. But what we need to do is to point out the opportunity. Okay, this is a wonderful opportunity which we can use to transform ourselves. So if we really transform ourselves, we become rooted in our own being. No matter what is going going on the outside, we will not lose our composure. In fact, we will become examples for others, and they will seek support and succor from us. So this is the transformative aspect of astrology. So this particular conjunction, the Mars Moon conjunction and Jupiter Moon conjunction, which is there from tomorrow morning to day after tomorrow morning, it's a wonderful opportunity. Depending upon the city that you come from, there may be a few minutes here and there, but this is a great opportunity which can be used. So, is this clear to everyone? If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Uma, you want to ask a question?
No, I'm fine, sir.
Okay.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, can we recite the Guru Gita?
Today?
No, not now. When you said you have to
One
do
of these
something,
days, sure.
that is whenever I get the time. Like
Okay.
say,
We will have a special session for that. We can do it because everybody will not know Guru Gita and they will not perhaps
yes,
enjoy
your
it.
I have notes on your session. That's how I understood the whole thing.
Okay.
I attended your so, and I find that now I can read it.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So we will think about it and see if we
Yes, sir.
can. Yes, yes, Sunanda. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask same thing कि what will be the best how to use the time in best way, like chanting mantra करें कि reading करें कि
That
वो
choice is yours.
okay
Choice is yours.
meditation.
Whatever you do, do it with a pure heart and not with some worldly purpose.
Yeah.
Do it with the purpose to know what is the highest principle. Because this is a special time. Okay, if you ask for something else, yes, लक्ष्मी योग है आपको वो मिलेगा. लेकिन लक्ष्मी कहाँ बैठी हैं? वो विष्णु भगवान के बगल में बैठी हैं. तो पाना है तो लक्ष्मी ने पाने का प्रयास तो विष्णु के लिए किया है. तो आप क्या छोटी छोटी चीजें मांग रहे हो? मांगना है तो वही मांगो जो कुछ होने से सब कुछ सारा दुख दर्द खत्म हो जाएगा. नचिकेता जब यमराज के पास गया, कठोपनिषद अगर कभी हम पढ़ेंगे तो यमराज ने उसको बोला ये छोटा बच्चा आया है क्या है इसको. तो उसने बोला कि आई आई वांट टू नो द सीक्रेट ऑफ लाइफ एंड डेथ एंड हु कैन गिव मी द सीक्रेट except Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. You are the Lord of Death and you have to give it to me. And Yamaraj said, no, 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 you are too young. I will give you so many blessings. हम बच्चे को चॉकलेट देते हैं तो बोला तुमको ये दे देते हैं, इतना पैसा देते हैं, इतने जन्म दे देते हैं, ऐसा कभी बूढ़े नहीं हो गए, ऐसा दे देते हैं. तुम्हारे पिताजी यज्ञ कर रहे हैं उनको हम ऐसे चिर युवा कर देते हैं. He will be remain a young man all his life. But Nachiketa was firm. He said, no. I have come to ask you for it, and this is my request. And question both. I don't want anything from you. So it is like this, that this is a good time. So you ask yourself, what is it that I am going to ask for? And then choose.